Hi friends, I am Atul Pujari and I will be talking about the measurements because so everybody has told about how to fortify and what to fortify. Now it's my duty to tell you how to measure it and what are the challenges in the measurement. There are many things to measure, but I will be taking on the challenges which we face on the mineral analysis. What are these challenges actually? There are only two challenges. One is overestimation and other is underestimation. Now why the challenges comes? I had categorized into 5 parts. The first is the matrix. The matrix plays a vital role, but first we need to understand the matrix. How much fat it contains, how much protein it contains and how much carbohydrate it contains. What we can do, we can plot a triangle and put each and every coordinate and decide what kind of matrix it has. Now secondly, we need to also understand what kind of mineral it has been fortified. There are many salts of calcium, there are many salts of iron like calcium carbonate, calcium chloride, then is the iron sulfate, iron chloride or maybe iron pyrophosphate. If you understand, then the matrix triangle is over. Then we come to a solubility. If I use only nitric acid, the solubility of those elements which are not quite soluble in nitric acid may not come. My recoveries goes down, I underestimate. But if I use a combination of acids like aquaresia, if it is a combination of nitric acid and the hydrochloric acid, the solubility I increase. Likewise, if I say calcium, the solubility will increase, or maybe iron, in particular case is iron pyrophosphate, the solubility increase, my recovery will go high. I will never underestimate. Then third, the most prominent is dilution technique. What kind of dilution technique I am using? If I am using ashing, if I am using a open vessel dilution, in both the cases, my recoveries goes down because even in cooking, what we cook at our home, it has been proved in the cooking itself, the element levels goes 20 to 30% from the initial amount while cooking itself we lose. Now if I use a closed vessel microwave dilution, I recover or reduce the recovery or increase the recovery levels. My recoveries will increase if I use a closed vessel microwave dilution. Then the fourth parameter which I categorize is the sample size. Now most of the people, what we do actually, we take a 0.5 gram of sample for analysis for elements. The 0.5 gram can cause a sampling error, but how to get rid of this? What we can do, we can reconstitute the product as per the serving size, or we can take a large amount of samples. In my case, if I take a 25 gram of sample, reconstitute it and then take a representative out of it, so I can reduce the sampling error which I am putting on an analysis of. The fifth and the most important parameter is a detection. What kind of detection technique I am using? There are many techniques available. Many people analyze iron by UV spectrophotometer or maybe AS. There ICP OES is available, ICP MS is available. My opinion says we go for ICP MS because ICP MS is the most advanced technique which can measure by the molecular weight of a element rather than doing a scan of molecule or maybe the absorption criteria. Summing all those steps which I had discussed now, what I can say, the challenges where I can overcome if I use a supra pure grade of chemicals which is pure, if I use a PTFE glassware instead of glassware, I use a PTFE glassware which will not contaminate for overestimation or underestimation. I use a traceable elements which are traced back the elements, and I use ICP MS or in the closed vessel dilution technique. I get an optimum recovery. I will neither overestimate or neither underestimate, because in case of minerals, the underestimation will not cause any food safety hazard, but in case of heavy elements or in case of trace elements, this might cause a food safety hazard. So we should be very pakka on the measurement what we are doing, because measurement is the first step for to maintain a product quality. We cannot measure it, we cannot control it, and the consumer awareness is increasing day by day. And as a food manufacturer, we must adapt the new and advanced techniques which can measure as low as possible rather than as low as our resources allow. Thank you.